I do not care about the child, my mother-in-law said about my 9-year-old daughter. My husband agreed. Claire is not so smart, he said. She will sign what we need. 7 days later, their lawyer called me in a panic, because what I signed was not what they expected. It was a Tuesday, 2 weeks before Christmas, in Boston, Massachusetts. My daughter Isla was still wearing her school uniform when Eleanor decided to say it out loud. We were in my kitchen. My kitchen? The oven was preheating, and Isla was trying to tape a paper snowflake to the sliding door. Eleanor stood by the island like she owned the place, holding a mug she had not asked for. Damon leaned against the fridge, wearing that everybody relax face. He saved that face for the moments when his mother was about to get mean. Eleanor nodded toward Isla, without even lowering her voice. I do not care about the child, she said. Isla's hands stopped moving. The tape drooped from her fingers. She did not cry. She only blinked, like she was trying to turn what she heard into something less sharp. Damon did not correct his mother. He did not even look at Isla. He looked at me. Then Eleanor slid a manila folder across my counter, like it was a dessert menu. This needs to be signed tonight, she said. Damon finally spoke. Claire, just sign it. You do not need to read all that. That was the moment I understood something clearly. They were not speaking to me like a partner. They were speaking to me like an obstacle. And that was when I decided I would sign. Just not what they thought. The first rule in my house used to be simple. Isla comes first. I said it early. I said it calmly. I said it like it was as normal as taking your shoes off at the door. 2 months after I married Damon, we hosted a small Sunday dinner. Eleanor arrived 40 minutes early, let herself in with the spare key Damon had forgotten to mention, and started rearranging my living room candles. Isla came downstairs in leggings and a sweatshirt, her hair still damp from the shower. Eleanor made a sound like she had tasted something sour. Is she going to dress like that? Eleanor asked Damon. Not me. Damon smiled too fast. Mom, it is fine. Eleanor let her eyes slide toward Isla. Honey, some people do not teach their children standards. You will learn. Isla did not answer. She just went back upstairs. I followed her, knocked on her door, and found her folding a blanket over her knees like she was building a shield. She does not get to talk to you like that, I said, quiet and exact. Isla shrugged, trying to look older than 9. It is okay. She likes you more. That sentence landed in my chest and stayed there. I went downstairs and told Damon, we are not doing comments about Isla's clothes. Damon kissed my cheek, like affection could replace agreement. I will handle it, he said. He did not handle it. He only smoothed it over. Eleanor learned that if she pushed, Damon would cushion the impact for her. 2 weeks later, the next rule arrived, disguised as a favor. Isla and I were at a craft store, picking out glittery ornaments for a school project, when Damon's phone buzzed. He stepped away, then came back with that careful voice. My mom wants to help with Christmas shopping for Isla. I smiled because I wanted peace. That is sweet, he added. She wants to take Isla herself. Just the two of them. Isla's face tightened, like she had swallowed something dry. Do I have to? She asked. Damon laughed lightly. Nobody is forcing you. Then, he looked at me. Not Isla. Me. Like it was my job to manage her discomfort. So I said, we can all go together. Damon's smile flickered. Mom said it would be easier without extra opinions. I stared at him. Without me. He raised both hands. Babe, it is just shopping. Let her feel included. I watched Isla stare at the floor tiles, counting invisible squares. We are not doing one-on-one outings, I said. Not yet. Damon's jaw tightened. Why are you making this a thing? He asked. And just like that, the rule in my house was not a rule anymore. It was negotiable. The third scene happened in my driveway after dark, when the air smelled like snow and exhaust. Damon had offered to pick Isla up from school because I had a late meeting. I came home and found Isla sitting on the front steps, backpack still on, cheeks pink from the cold. "What happened?" I asked, unlocking the door. Isla stood too fast. "It is fine." Inside, Damon was on the couch, shoes on, scrolling his phone. "Hey," he said, like it was a normal Tuesday. I set my bag down. Why was she outside? Damon did not look up. She did not want to come in. Isla's voice was small. He was on the phone with Grandma. Damon sighed, finally setting his phone down. Mom just asked how things were going. Isla got sensitive. I turned to Isla. What did she say? Isla's eyes went shiny, but she forced the words out. She said, "I am lucky you married Damon, because now I have a real family, and I should not mess it up." Damon rolled his eyes, like a teenager. That is not what she meant. I felt my face stay calm, while everything inside me tightened. "You let her say that to Isla." Damon leaned forward, elbows on his knees. "Claire, my mom is old school. She is not trying to hurt her." Isla whispered, "It did hurt." Damon looked at Isla for half a second, then back to me. "You see, this is why I did not want you making rules. It makes everyone tense." I stood there, keys still in my hand, realizing Damon had found a way to make harm sound like my overreaction. That night, after Isla went to bed, I asked Damon, "Did you ever tell your mother to stop?" He reached for me like a peace offering. "Do not start," he said. "It is Christmas season." I swallowed it, because I did not want Isla to see another rupture. Not after losing Nathan. Damon knew that. Eleanor knew that. They both used it. The fourth scene was quieter, which made it worse. We were at Eleanor's house for a cookie day. She set Isla at the dining table with sprinkles, frosting, and 2 bright overhead lights. Then she handed Damon her phone and said, "Show her." Damon cleared his throat. "My mom found a great financial advisor. He does family planning." I blinked. "Okay." Eleanor smiled like a teacher about to assign homework. "It is important. Damon told me you inherited something after Nathan passed. You should protect the family." My mouth went dry. "That is not a dinner conversation." Eleanor waved one hand. "Oh, please. I know there is money set aside. Do not pretend there is not." Isla looked up, frosting on her fingertip, confused. Damon said softly, "Claire, it is not a big deal. Mom just wants us to be smart." Eleanor leaned in. "And to be clear, any money you received because of your situation should benefit your current household, not just your child." Isla's shoulders hunched, like she could make herself smaller. I said, "Nathan's assets are for Isla." Eleanor smiled without warmth. "We will see." On the drive home, Damon kept his voice gentle, like that made everything acceptable. "Mom is just worried. She thinks you are being rigid. She called Isla just your child," I said. Damon exhaled, like I was exhausting him. "Claire, you take everything personally." I stared out at the wet streets, where Christmas lights blurred through the glass. "It is not personal," I said. "It is my kid." Damon nodded, but it was not agreement. It was patience. The kind people use on someone they think they can outlast. By the time 2 weeks before Christmas arrived, I understood the pattern. Eleanor controlled through help. Damon controlled through calm. Isla absorbed everything like a sponge, then tried to wring herself out in private. Then, on that Tuesday, Eleanor brought the folder. The folder looked official. Tabs. Sticky notes. A cover page with the header of Pierce and Caldwell Legal Group Botto. Eleanor placed it on my counter, like she was placing a burden. Damon stood behind her shoulder, not quite touching her, but close enough for me to see where his loyalty lived. "What is this?" I asked. Eleanor's smile was thin. "Just some paperwork. A power of attorney, and a few updates to your accounts." "My accounts," I repeated. Damon's voice slid in smoothly. "It is routine. If anything happens to you, I need to be able to handle things." I kept my tone even. If something happens to me, Isla's guardian is already designated. Eleanor's eyes narrowed. We are not talking about custody. Do not be dramatic. We are talking about money. Isla was at the table with markers, making a card for her teacher. She paused, listening. Damon leaned closer to me, like he was sharing a secret. We are behind on a couple things. This will help us consolidate. Mom knows a guy. I stared at him. Behind on what things? He did not answer. He only said, not in front of Isla. Eleanor lifted her chin. She does not need to be involved. Isla's marker squeaked across paper, then stopped. I asked Eleanor, why are you here with this? Eleanor's smile widened, almost proud. Because Damon said you are not the smartest with paperwork. He said you will sign what you need to sign, if we present it properly. Damon did not flinch. He did not deny it. He only said, Mom, do not say it like that. Eleanor shrugged. It is true. She will sign what we need. Isla's chair scraped back. She stood quietly and walked upstairs without one word. My hands stayed on the counter. Damon, I said. Did you tell her that? Damon's eyes flicked toward the stairs, then back to me. Claire, you are making it sound evil. We are a family. Eleanor tapped the folder with one polished finger. Sign tonight, she said. We need it before the holidays. I looked at the signature tabs, yellow flags screaming urgency from every page. Then I looked at Damon, who would not meet my eyes for more than a second. I nodded once. Okay. Eleanor's shoulders relaxed, like she had won something. That was the moment I stopped arguing out loud and started planning in silence. I did not sign the folder that night. I made dinner. I asked Isla about her spelling quiz. I packed her lunch. I kissed her forehead and watched her eyes search mine, like she was trying to confirm reality. After she fell asleep, Damon tried again. He brought the folder into our bedroom and set it on the dresser like a gift. Let us just get it done, he said. I sat on the edge of the bed and folded my hands. Tell me what you are behind on. Damon rubbed his jaw. It is complicated. Say it anyway. He exhaled. Credit cards. Some personal loans. And I took out a loan to cover Mom's roof. I stared at him. You borrowed money for your mother's roof. Damon's face tightened. She needed help. And you did not tell me. He said it like I was the problem. You would have freaked out. I kept my voice flat. So your solution is to have me sign power of attorney over my assets. Damon leaned forward, softer now, like he was trying to soothe a child. Claire, it is not like that. It is just for convenience. Convenience for who? I asked. He glanced away. For us. I reached for the folder and flipped open the first page. Dense paragraphs. Legal language. My printed name beside a line at the bottom. I read the title twice. Durable power of attorney. I looked up. This gives you authority to act on my behalf. Damon shrugged. Only if you are unavailable. And how do they define unavailable? I asked. His mouth opened, then closed. It is standard. I flipped to the next tab. One section covered financial accounts. Another covered real property. Another covered trusts. My spine went cold. Why is there a trust section? I asked. Damon's eyes sharpened. Because you have one. I held his gaze. Isla has one. Damon's voice dropped. Claire, we are married. It affects our household. My hand stayed steady, even as my stomach turned. Isla's trust is not household money. Damon's nostrils flared. You are acting like I am a stranger. I said, right now, you are. He looked at the folder, then at me, and said the sentence that changed the air. My mom is right. You are not that smart with this stuff. That is why we are helping. It was not loud. It was not dramatic. It was casual. And that casualness made it dangerous. The next morning, the first humiliation happened small enough for Damon to pretend it did not count. Isla and I were in the car, windshield wipers slapping at sleet, when Damon called. I put him on speaker, because I liked hearing his voice when he was being normal. He did not say hello to Isla. He said, "Claire, I told my mom you would sign today." Isla stared out the window, jaw tight. I said, "I am taking Isla to school." Damon's tone sharpened. "You always have an excuse." Isla's voice came out careful. "Mom does not have excuses. She has things to do." Damon paused, then laughed like it was cute. "See, she is learning manipulation from you." Isla's cheeks flushed. She whispered, "I did not." I cut in calmly. "Do not talk to her like that." Damon sighed. "Put the kid away from the phone. This is adult business." Isla's eyes widened. She reached for the volume herself, like she wanted to disappear from the conversation. I said, "We will talk later." Then I hung up. That was humiliation number 1. Reducing Isla to the kid like her existence was noise. The second humiliation came that afternoon, more direct and harder to dismiss. I picked Isla up from school and found Damon already home, sitting at the kitchen table with Eleanor. They had let themselves in again. Eleanor had brought her own pen. Isla stopped in the doorway. Eleanor looked up and smiled too big. "There she is," she said. Isla did not move. Damon said, "Hey, Isla, go upstairs. We are doing paperwork." Isla's voice was quiet, but firm. "I do not want Grandma here." Eleanor's smile vanished. "Excuse me." Isla's hands clenched around her backpack straps. "You said you do not care about me." The kitchen went still. Eleanor's eyes snapped to me, like it was my fault Isla had ears. Damon stood abruptly. "Isla, that is enough. You do not speak to my mother that way." Isla's eyes filled, but she did not cry. "I did not speak to her," she said. I repeated her. Damon's face darkened. "Upstairs. Now." "Ow." Isla looked at me, waiting for me to choose her out loud. I said, "Isla, go wash your hands and start your homework. I will be up in a minute." Her lips pressed together. She nodded once and walked away slowly, each step heavy. Eleanor leaned toward Damon and did not lower her voice. "See? She is disrespectful. That child is a problem." Damon did not correct her. He only looked at me and said, "Sign. Let us not drag this out." That was humiliation number 2. Damon defending Eleanor against Isla's truth. Then came the third one. The main violation, wrapped in the same fake calm. Eleanor opened the folder to a page I had not seen yet. "Here," she said, sliding it toward me. "This one gives Damon authority to manage the trust. And any distributions." My voice stayed steady. "No." Eleanor's expression hardened. "Claire, do not be stupid. The trust is money sitting there, doing nothing. Damon can invest it." "It is Isla's," I said. Eleanor's eyes were flat. "I already told you," she said. "I do not care about the child. I care about family stability." Damon nodded, like that made sense. "We need it," he said. "I need it." I stared at him. "For what?" He swallowed, then said it quickly. "We are trying to buy a bigger house. And I promised Mom I would help with her mortgage refinancing. And there is something else." I felt my pulse stay strangely slow. "Something else." Damon's eyes flicked to Eleanor, then away. "Just sign." Eleanor leaned in, voice sharp. "Your first husband is gone. That money is not doing Nathan any good." My skin went cold. "Do not say his name like that." Eleanor shrugged. "Truth is truth." Damon's voice rose, just a little. "Claire, you are being emotional." I looked at the page again. It was not just a power of attorney. It was a reshuffling of authority. A way to step around the protections Nathan and I had put in place. They were not asking me to sign paperwork. They were asking me to hand my daughter's future to people who openly did not care if she got hurt. I slid the folder back. I am not signing today. Damon's face tightened. Yes, you are. I stood. No, I am not. Eleanor's eyes flashed. Then you will regret it. Damon stepped closer and lowered his voice like a threat dressed as comfort. My wife is not so smart, he said. She will sign what we need. He said it like he was quoting himself, like he was proud. I looked at him, then at Eleanor, then toward the stairs where Isla's footsteps had stopped. She was probably listening. I nodded once, slow. Okay. Damon exhaled, relieved, and Eleanor's shoulders relaxed again. I walked out of the kitchen, went upstairs, and sat on the edge of Isla's bed. She was doing math problems with shaky pencil lines. She did not look up. Are you going to sign? She asked. I kept my voice soft. I am going to handle it. Isla's eyes lifted to mine, searching my face. Will I be okay? I put my hand over hers, steady and warm. Yes. Then I stood, went to my closet, and pulled out the binder I kept hidden behind winter scarves. The one with Isla's trust documents. The one Damon did not know I had updated last year. I did not feel angry anymore. I felt clear. Very calm. Very final. On Thursday morning, I did not argue. I did not confront. I did not announce boundaries like a speech. I packed Isla's lunch, braided her hair, and drove her to school like everything was normal. The sky was the color of old paper. The radio played Christmas songs I did not hear. At drop-off, Isla held my hand longer than usual. Are you mad? She asked. No, I said. I am focused. She nodded, like she understood the difference. After I watched her walk into the building, I did not go home. I drove downtown, parked in a garage that smelled like wet concrete, and walked into an estate planning office. The receptionist smiled. Can I help you? I said. I need to see an attorney about a minor's trust and attempted financial coercion. She did not make me explain in the lobby. She simply nodded and handed me paperwork. Within 20 minutes, I sat across from attorney Vivian Cross. She wore glasses on a chain and had the kind of calm that made you feel safer by proximity. She flipped through the documents I brought, her fingers quick and precise. You are the trustee, she said, tapping one page. And the trust limits distributions to Isla's benefit, which is good. I nodded. My husband and his mother are trying to make me sign a power of attorney that would let him access it. Vivian's eyebrows lifted. He cannot access it without your cooperation, unless you sign something granting authority. I know, I said. That is why I am here. I want to lock it down further. Attorney Vivian Cross leaned back in her chair. We can add additional protections, she said. We can formalize that no power of attorney can override trustee authority without court approval. We can place the assets into a structure that requires judicial review for any changes. I exhaled. Do it. She slid a new set of documents toward me and explained every page in short sentences. Then she asked the questions that mattered. Isla's age, Nathan's intentions, previous amendments, any contact from Damon or Eleanor about the trust. I answered like I was reading a grocery list, because staying calm was the only luxury I had left. Vivian pointed to the signature lines. These filings reinforce Isla's protected interest, she said. If someone tries to present a power of attorney, it will not grant access to this trust. And if they try another route, this creates a record. I am also sending formal notice to Pierce and Caldwell Legal Group and to the trust custodian. Any attempt to use those packet documents against the trust gets flagged immediately. I picked up the pen. I signed. Not Eleanor's folder. Not Damon's plan. I signed what made my daughter untouchable. When I walked out, my phone buzzed 3 times. Damon. I did not answer. I drove to Isla's school, checked her out early, and took her to Maple Street Diner. The booths were red, and the tabletop was sticky. Isla ate fries like she had not eaten in days. "Are we in trouble?" she asked, ketchup on her lip. "No," I said. "We are setting rules that actually work." She looked relieved, then worried again. "Is Damon mad?" "I do not know," I said. "But his feelings are not the priority." Isla nodded slowly, like she was practicing the idea. When we got home, Damon's car was in the driveway. Eleanor's was behind it. I walked Isla inside, hung up her coat, and spoke softly. "Go upstairs and change into something comfortable. If you hear voices, you stay in your room." Isla's eyes widened. "Okay." Then I walked into the kitchen and found Damon and Eleanor sitting at my table again. My table. The folder was open like a weapon. Damon stood up. "Where were you?" I set my purse down carefully. "Out." Eleanor's eyes narrowed. "Did you sign?" I smiled a little. Not warmly. Just controlled. I signed. Damon's shoulders loosened. "Good." Eleanor pushed the folder toward me. "Then, sign these too." I did not touch it. Damon frowned. "What do you mean you signed?" I met his eyes. "I mean I handled Isla's trust." Eleanor's face went still. "What did you do?" I did not explain. I did not need to. Damon stepped closer, voice rising. "Claire, you cannot just make legal changes without even telling me." I tilted my head. "Watch me." That was when Damon made his first real move. Not heroic, not brave, but real. He looked at Eleanor and said, "Mom, maybe you should go." Eleanor whipped her head toward him. "Excuse me." Damon's voice shook. "Just go home. For now." Eleanor stood so fast, her chair scraped across the floor. "You are choosing her over your own mother." Damon did not answer. His jaw clenched, and he looked at the floor, like a man realizing he had been trained. Eleanor grabbed her purse. "I'm 9. But do not expect me to help you when this blows up." She walked out, slamming the door hard enough that the Christmas cards on the counter shifted. Damon turned back to me, breath tight. "What did you do?" I picked up my phone, opened my email, and showed him the confirmation from Vivian Cross office. Nothing detailed, just enough to prove action. Damon's face went pale. "You locked it." I nodded. "Yes." He swallowed. "My mom is going to freak out." I said, "Let her." Damon stared at me, like he was seeing me for the first time. "You are going to ruin Christmas." I did not raise my voice. "You already did." Upstairs, the floor creaked. Isla had shifted in her room. I looked at Damon, still calm. "We will talk," I said. "But not with your mother here. And not while you are still pretending this was help." 7 days later, I was rinsing a mug at the sink when my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. "Hello." A man's voice came through, fast and clipped. "Is this Claire Whitmore?" "Yes. I'm an attorney with Pierce and Caldwell Legal Group. I need to speak with Damon Pierce immediately. There's a serious problem with those documents." Damon's head snapped up, confused. I held the phone out. He took it. "Yes," he said, voice tight. "This is Damon." A pause followed. His face changed. Confused first, then worried, then scared. He swallowed hard. "What do you mean?" I knew the dominoes had started falling. Damon listened for less than a minute, then pulled the phone away from his ear and stared at it like it had insulted him. He ended the call. "That was some attorney," he said. I leaned against the counter. "From where?" His voice was strained. "From the firm on Mom's paperwork." I nodded once. "Okay." Damon looked at me, eyes wide. He said they received notice. Something about the trust being protected, and any power of attorney being invalid for it. He sounded rattled, like he was trying not to panic. I did not react. I just said, "He should." Damon's hands started to shake. Then he shoved them into his pockets like he could hide the truth in fabric. Claire, why would you? Because someone tried to do something that triggered a legal response, I said. And they were sloppy. Damon's face flushed. My mom would not. I cut in, still calm. Your mom brought papers to my house. She said she did not care about Isla. Then she asked me to sign away control. Whatever she would not do, she already did. Damon opened his mouth, then closed it. His phone rang again. He answered with a forced calm that did not match his eyes. Hello? This time, I could hear the other voice faintly. Fast, clipped, professional. Damon's shoulders slumped. Yes, I understand. He looked at me like he wanted me to fix it for him. I did not, he said into the phone. No, I did not tell my mother to forge anything. His eyes snapped to mine. Forge. The word hit the air like a dropped plate. Damon went quiet, listened, then said, Okay, I will tell her. He hung up and stared at the floor. They think someone tried to falsify a signature, he whispered. On one of the forms tied to that packet. I blinked slowly. On what? Damon's throat moved. On a beneficiary change, or a distribution request. I do not know. He would not say much, just that they are withdrawing from representation and documenting everything. I pictured Eleanor's confident smile, the manila folder, the yellow sticky tabs. My voice stayed even. So the lawyer is backing away. Damon nodded, swallowing hard. And they called you in a panic, I said. He looked up sharply, like the sentence matched something he had heard before. Claire. I pushed away from the counter. I need you to sit. He did, slowly, like his knees had finally understood. I walked to the stairs and called up, Isla, you can come down now. Isla appeared at the top, pajama pants and a hoodie, hair half loose. She held the banister like it was an anchor. It is okay, I said. Come sit with me. She came down and sat beside me on the couch. Damon stared at her, like he did not know what to say. Isla did not look at him. She looked at me. Are we safe? I nodded. Yes. The next steam came the following morning, when snow started falling in thick clumps. Boston turned quiet. In that way it only does, when weather demands respect. I dropped Isla at school and came home, to find Damon already gone. Not to work. His car was gone too. On the kitchen table, he had left the folder open, like a dare. I did not touch it with my bare hands this time. I took pictures of every page with my phone, slow and thorough. Signatures, dates, notary stamps. Then I slid it into a zip bag, sealed it, and put it in my file drawer, beside Isla's birth certificate. My phone buzzed with a text from Damon. I am at Mom's. We need to talk tonight. I typed back, we can talk here without her. A minute later, he replied, she's freaking out. You did not have to do this. I stared at the screen, then typed, you did this. No more words. No more explaining. At noon, I got a call from Isla's school. This is the front office, a woman said. Eleanor Pierce came to pick Isla up. She is not on the approved list. We did not release her. My hand tightened around the phone. Thank you. Please, do not release Isla to her under any circumstances. The woman stayed professional. She was upset. She said Damon gave her permission. I'm Isla's mother and legal guardian, I said. Not Damon. Not Eleanor. There was a pause. Understood. We will make a note. When I hung up, I did not panic. I did something quieter. I drove to Brookline Academy and updated the pickup list in person. Then Isla and I chose a password phrase on the spot. Blue lantern. 2 words that meant safety. After that, I sat in my car and called Vivian Cross. I need to document an attempted unauthorized school pickup, I said. Vivian did not sound surprised. Email me the details. Keep it factual. Date. Dial. Time. Who said what? I sent the email from the parking lot, while my breath fogged the windshield. This was the second front I had not expected. Eleanor was not just after money. She was after access. The kind that makes a person feel powerful. And she had just shown me how far she would go. That evening, Damon came home alone. His face looked older, like stress had pressed down on him all day. He stood in the doorway and said, "Claire, can we not do this in front of Isla?" I glanced toward the living room, where Isla was coloring quietly. "She already knows," I said. "You just have not caught up." Damon's shoulders dropped. "My mom said you are turning her into a weapon." Isla's head lifted, eyes sharp. I said, "Isla is a person." Damon looked at Isla finally. "Hey, Isla." She did not answer. Damon swallowed. "Mom went to your school." I did not widen my eyes. I did not gasp. I just nodded. "Yes." Damon's face tightened. "She said she was trying to help." I walked to the drawer, pulled out the folder in a zip bag, and set it on the table between us. "This is what help looks like in your family." Damon stared at it. "Claire." I held up my hand. "No. Tim. Listen. Your mother attempted to remove my child from school without permission. That is not a misunderstanding. That is a boundary violation." Damon's voice cracked. "She did not mean." I cut in. "Intent does not undo impact. And it does not undo patterns." Damon sank into a chair. "The lawyer dropped her," he said quietly. "He said he cannot be involved if there is fraud." I waited. Damon looked up, eyes wet but not dramatic. "She forged something, Claire." "I think she forged my name." The room went silent. Isla's crayon paused. I said, "Did you know?" Damon shook his head fast. "No, I swear. She told me it was routine." I nodded once. "That is what you told me." Then I said, "You are going to stay somewhere else for now." Damon's mouth fell open. "What?" I kept my voice low. "You can stay with your mother or a friend, but you are not sleeping here while you are still tied to her choices." Damon gripped the edge of the table. "Claire, please. It is Christmas." I looked at Isla, then back at him. "That is exactly why." Damon stood, paced once, then stopped like he had hit a wall. "If I leave, you will tell everyone." "I will tell the truth, if I have to," I said. "But I am not running a smear campaign. I'm protecting my kid." Damon looked toward Isla. She stared at him with disappointment too old for 9. "I did not think she would go that far," he whispered. I said, "You did not think, because thinking would have required you to stop her." Damon asked if he could say goodbye. I nodded. He crouched in front of Isla. "I'm sorry," he said softly. Isla pressed her lips together. "Are you still on her side?" Damon swallowed. "I do not know how to do this." Isla nodded like that was the answer. "Then you should not decide things." Damon closed his eyes, stood, packed a bag, and left without arguing. The next day, Eleanor texted from a new number, pretending sweetness. "Claire, honey, let us fix this. Bring Isla over for Coco." I blocked her. When she spread stories, I answered in the family chat with facts. Eleanor tried to remove Isla from school. Damon and Eleanor brought paperwork to control Isla's trust. I secured legal protections. "Please do not pass messages to Isla." Silence followed, because facts do not flatter liars. Damon later signed a document saying he would not pursue any claim to Isla's trust. He moved into a short-term rental and started therapy. He asked if we could ever fix this. I did not rush to comfort him. I said, "Isla and I are safe now. That is the foundation. Everything else is optional." When I picked Isla up that afternoon, she ran to me and said she had been invited to art club. We celebrated with pizza. The world was not perfect. It was not painless. But it was ours again.